clef is a musical symbol used to indicate the pitch of written notes. Placed on one of the lines at the beginning of the stave, it indicates the name and pitch of the notes on that line. This line serves as a reference point by which the names of the notes on any other line or space of the stave may be determined. Only one clef that references a note in a space rather than on a line has ever been used. There are three types of clef used in modern music notation: F, C, and G. Each type of clef assigns a different reference note to the line on which it is placed. Once one of these clefs has been placed on one of the lines of the stave, the other lines and spaces can be read in relation to it. The use of three different clefs makes it possible to write music for all instruments and voices, even though they may have very different tessituras. This would be difficult to do with only one clef, since the modern stave has only 5 lines, and the number of pitches that can be represented on the stave, even with ledger lines, is not nearly equal to the number of notes the orchestra can produce. The use of different clefs for different instruments and voices allows each part to be written comfortably on the stave with a minimum of ledger lines. To this end, the G clef is used for high parts, the C clef for middle parts, and the F clef for low parts with the important exception of transposing parts, which are written at a different pitch than they sound, often even in a different octave. Placement on the stave: in order to facilitate writing for different tessituras, any of the clefs may theoretically be placed on any of the lines of the stave. The further down on the stave a clef is placed, the higher the tessitura it is for. Conversely, the higher up the clef, the lower the tessitura. Since there are 5 lines on the stave, and 3 clefs, it might seem that there would be 15 possible clefs. 6 of these, however, are redundant clefs. That leaves 9 possible distinct clefs, all of which have been used historically: the G clef on the 2 bottom lines, the F clef on the 3 top lines, and the C clef on any line of the stave except the topmost, earning the name of movable C clef. Each of these clefs has a different name based on the tessitura for which it is best suited. In modern music, only 4 clefs are used regularly: the treble clef, the bass clef, the alto clef, and the tenor clef. Of these, the treble and bass clefs are by far the most common. Individual clefs: here follows a complete list of the clefs, along with a list of instruments and voice parts notated with them. Each clef is shown in its proper position on the stave, followed by its reference note. An obelisk after the name of a clef indicates that that clef is no longer in common use. G clefs: